They say everything's bigger in Texas, the sky the tempers, and apparently the entitlement of certain HOAs who think land ownership is just a technicality. I found that out the hard way when a luxury neighborhood decided their power line should run, get this straight, through my ranch. No call, no letter, no heads up. Just poles and wires stretching across my pasture like it was theirs. I've been on that land all my life. My granddad staked the fences. My dad raised cattle, and I've kept the place going through droughts, floods, and more busted tractors than I can count. That morning when I crested the ridge and saw a backhoe tearing up my grazing field, I swear my heart stopped. Black conduit in the dirt metal poles, rising like insults, and a crew and acting like they belonged there. I sped down on my ATV, dust flying. The foreman, Rick, his name tag said, wiped his brow like he was bored. Told me they were running power for Silverstone Ridge Phase 3. I asked to see the permit. He handed me some half-baked map with a blank signature line and shrugged. "Take it up with the HOA," he said. So I did. Took me 2 days of voicemails and dead ends to get Brenda Langston, the HOA president, on the line. And right away, I knew what I was dealing with. She had that clipped tone like I was wasting her time. Told me, "There seems to be some confusion on your part." Confusion. I told her in no uncertain terms that land had been in my family for 3 generations, and no one, not a soul, had signed over any rights. Her answer: "Power is essential infrastructure, Mr. Callahan. Perhaps you don't understand how modern development works." And just like that, it clicked. This wasn't a mix-up, it was a power play. They thought they could steamroll me because I wear boots instead of loafers, because I own cattle, not condos. They figured I'd yell for a bit, then give up. They were wrong. I called my lawyer Sam Reyes sharp, as they come with land disputes. I gave him drone footage photos, timestamps, even a video of the trenching crew. Sam fired off a cease and desist letter demanding they stop immediately and repair the damage. But instead, they pushed harder. More poles, more cable deeper into my land. They were daring me to sue. So I did one better. I started digging figuratively this time into where the power came from. Turns out Silverstone wasn't hooked up to the main grid. Too far, too expensive. Instead, they were running power from a solar substation built nearby. Public records led me to a company called SunPoint Utilities. Sounded big. Wasn't. It was a paper-thin shell run by the same folks behind the housing project. And here's the kicker. SunPoint was drowning in debt, overruns, financing gaps, and a cheap long-term contract with the HOA that barely kept the lights on. My accountant friend confirmed it. They were a few bad months from sinking, so I made a move. I set up a clean LLC and made a discreet offer through a broker. Covered their debt, added a little sugar on top, and kept my name far from it. They took the deal. Just like that, I owned SunPoint Utilities solar panels, substation storage, and the exclusive power contract with Silverstone Ridge. And that same illegal line across my ranch, it was now carrying my electricity. I didn't wait. Sent Brenda a formal notice due to ongoing legal concerns over the unauthorized infrastructure power service would be temporarily suspended in fetal hours. It hit 108 degrees that weekend. Saturday morning, we flipped the breaker. The development went dark. Phones blew up. Brenda called in a panic voice, cracking, begging me to restore power. I told her calmly, "You trespassed. You were warned. This is the result. Then came the lawyers threatening everything from injunctions to bad Porsche. Sam handled them like a pro. Our client owns the utility. He is under no obligation to operate unsafe, illegally sited lines. By Monday, the neighborhood was in chaos. No AC, no cold drinks, no working fridges. HOA message boards were melting down. Brenda tried to spin the story to the news, painting me as a stubborn old rancher. But once the facts got out, photos, maps, letters, they turned on her fast. Eventually they folded. Every demand I made, they met. Poles gone within 24 hours. My land restored to how it was. Legal fees paid. A public apology. A new power contract on my terms with a hefty reconnection fee. Only once the last metal stake was gone and my pasture ready for new seed did I let the power come back on. You ever watch someone undo their own mess under a sun hot enough to cook eggs on a tailgate? That was justice. And yeah, it felt good. Months later, they finally got connected to the main grid after burning through way more money than if they'd just asked nicely to begin with. I sold SunPoint to a regional provider for a tidy sum. My cattle are back, the land's healed, and my property lines. No one dares test them now. So here's the question, did I go too far? Or is this just what standing your ground looks like these days? Drop a comment. Let me know where you stand. And if you've ever had to teach an HOA a hard-earned lesson, I'm all ears.